Yeah, this is great.
On this Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, California is grappling with one of the most significant winter weather events in its recorded history. A series of powerful atmospheric river storms, fueled by unusual maritime cooling and high-pressure shifts, has transformed the typically temperate state into a frozen landscape, leaving millions under weather alerts and paralyzing critical infrastructure. Governor Gavin Newsom has officially expanded a state of emergency to include 25 counties, ranging from the Oregon border down to the San Bernardino Mountains. What began as a standard winter front has evolved into a once-in-a-generation blizzard event. In the Sierra Nevada, snowfall totals have exceeded 12 feet in high-altitude passes over the last 72 hours, while lower elevations that rarely see frost are reporting several inches of accumulation. The National Weather Service has issued rare blizzard warnings for the Southern California mountains, a phenomenon that has occurred only a handful of times in the last century. Residents in areas like Lake Arrowhead and Big Bear are currently snowed in, with local authorities reporting that many secondary roads are completely impassable. The Great Freeze of 2026 has brought California's transportation network to a grinding halt. Interstate 80, I-80, the primary artery over Donner Pass, has been closed indefinitely due to zero visibility conditions and the high risk of avalanches. Major hubs including SFO and LAX have reported hundreds of cancellations as ground crews struggle with de-icing procedures and high wind shear. According to Pacific Gas and Electric, over 350,000 customers are currently without power. Heavy, wet snow has caused thousands of trees to collapse onto power lines, and repair crews are finding it difficult to reach damaged sites through the deep snowdrift. Perhaps the most shocking aspect of this 2026 storm is the snowfall in low-elevation coastal and desert regions. Residents in the high desert of the Antelope Valley and even the outskirts of the Inland Empire woke up to a white landscape. Social media has been flooded with images of palm trees covered in thick blankets of snow, a stark visual representation of the shifting climatic patterns affecting the West Coast. Meteorologists attribute this extreme cold to a polar vortex disruption that has pushed Arctic air much further south than usual, colliding with moisture-rich air from the Pacific. While the Snowpack is a welcome sight for California's chronic drought issues, the sheer volume and weight of the snow pose a threat to the state's multi-billion-dollar agricultural industry. In the Central Valley, citrus and almond farmers are scrambling to protect their crops from the freezing temperatures.
So we just dug Daniel's car out.
The water content in this snow is incredible for our reservoirs, says Dr. Michael Hernandez, a climate scientist. However, the immediate danger is the rain-on-snow event predicted for next week, which could trigger catastrophic flooding if this snow melts too quickly. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection and the National Guard have been deployed to assist in search and rescue operations. Officials are urging citizens to black ice and whiteout conditions make driving lethal. Ensure you have at least 72 hours of food, water, and warm clothing, particularly the elderly and vulnerable who may lose heating. For real-time updates on road closures, travelers are advised to check the Caltrans Quick Map. The forecast suggests that while the heaviest snow may taper off by Sunday evening, a secondary cold front is expected to arrive by midweek. This will keep temperatures well below freezing, ensuring that the snow remains on the ground for several weeks. As California navigates this icy crisis, the events of early 2026 serve as a powerful reminder of the volatility of modern weather systems. For a state defined by sun and surf, the winter of 26 will be remembered as the year the Golden State turned white. Meanwhile, the town of Mammoth Lakes has been transformed into an alpine fortress after a historic superstorm dumped more than 120 inches, 10 feet, of snow on the region in just 2 days. As of Saturday evening, the town remains under a strict stay-at-place order, with all access roads, including the critical Highway 395, closed indefinitely due to extreme avalanche hazards and zero-visibility whiteout conditions. The sheer volume of snow has overwhelmed the town's sophisticated snow removal infrastructure. Over 80% of the town is currently without power. Heavy snow accumulation has caused massive pine trees to snap, severing primary transmission lines. Southern California Edison has stated that crews cannot begin repairs until the winds subside below 40 miles per hour. Local authorities have received numerous reports of roof collapses on older carports and outbuildings. Residents are being urged to safely clear propane tank vents to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning, a critical danger when snow levels reach rooflines. While cellular service remains spotty, town officials are using satellite-linked emergency broadcasts to communicate with trapped residents and tourists. Mammoth Mountain Ski Resort, one of the premier skiing destinations in the United States, has suspended all operations. In a statement released via their official mountain report, management cited unprecedented avalanche danger and the inability to clear lift terminals. "We are no longer in a ski operation mode. We are in a survival and recovery mode," said a resort spokesperson. "Our priority is the safety of our staff and the thousands of guests currently sheltering in mountain lodges." The California Department of Transportation, Caltrans District 9, has shut down Highway 395 from Bishop to Bridgeport. The stretch known as Sherwin Grade is currently blocked by several natural avalanches. "There is nowhere to put the snow," said a Caltrans operator. "Our blowers are working 24/7, but the wind fills the road back in within minutes. This is the most challenging sequence of storms we have seen in decades." The Mono County Sheriff's Office has issued a stern warning for those attempting to travel to the area. "Do not attempt to drive to Mammoth," the department posted on social media. Search and rescue resources are currently dedicated to life safety calls within the town. If you get stuck on the highway, we may not be able to reach you. While the storm has created a humanitarian and logistical crisis, hydrologists note that the 2026 snowpack is now at 250% of the historical average for this date. This frozen reservoir is crucial for California's water supply, though the immediate concern remains the potential for a rapid melt-off later in the spring, which could lead to flooding in the Owens Valley. Forecasters predict a brief break in the weather on Monday, which may allow for bluebird skies and a massive mobilization of heavy equipment to begin digging out the town. However, another system is already brewing in the Gulf of Alaska, expected to arrive by Thursday. For those currently in the area, real-time emergency updates can be found on the Mammoth Lakes town official website. Meanwhile, Mount Lassen and the surrounding volcanic national park are currently the epicenter of an unprecedented meteorological event. A relentless cold-core Pacific cyclone has stalled over Northern California, dumping a staggering 180 inches, 15 feet, of snow on the slopes of the southernmost peak of the Cascade Range in less than 4 days. The National Park Service has officially closed all entrances to Lassen Volcanic National Park, describing the conditions as unsurvivable for anyone without professional-grade alpine shelter. The severity of this 2026 storm is attributed to a phenomenon meteorologists are calling the Lassen vortex. Cold air from the Gulf of Alaska has become trapped against the high volcanic peaks, creating an orographic lift effect that intensifies snowfall rates. At its peak on Friday night, the park's automated sensors recorded snowfall rates of 5 inches per hour. The National Weather Service Sacramento has maintained a blizzard warning for the area, citing wind gusts exceeding 110 miles per hour at the summit of Lassen Peak, 10,457 feet. These winds have created massive snowdrifts, some estimated to be over 40 feet high, completely burying park visitor centers and ranger stations. The primary arteries leading into the park are completely impassable. Caltrans District 2 has pulled snowplows off the road between Morgan Summit and Chester, stating that visibility is 0 and the risk of operators becoming stranded is too high. The small community of Mineral, the gateway to Lassen, has been without grid power for 48 hours. Satellite communications are the only remaining link as physical fiber lines have been snapped by falling timber under the weight of Sierra cement. Heavy, wet snow.
When it comes to snow travel, for those of you that like to session Mammoth on a regular basis and have been for decades...
The Sierra Avalanche Center has issued a Level 5 extreme danger rating for the Lassen area. The combination of rapid accumulation and high winds has created highly unstable slabs on the volcano's steep flanks. While Lassen is accustomed to heavy snow, the 2026 storm's intensity is testing the local ecosystem. Biologists express concern for the local black bear populations and Sierra Nevada red foxes, whose dens may be buried under an impenetrable layer of ice and snow. However, the positive environmental news is the projected superbloom for the summer of 2026, as the record snowpack will provide a sustained moisture source for the park's unique alpine meadows. Search and rescue teams from Shasta and Tehama counties are on high alert, though aerial rescues remain impossible due to the ongoing blizzard. "We are urging the public to stay away from the Highway 36 corridor," said a spokesperson for the California Highway Patrol. "This is not fun snow for skiing or sledding. This is a life-threatening natural disaster. The roads you see today may not be cleared for a week." This 2026 event surpasses the historic winters of 1982 to 83 and 2022 to 23. Mount Lassen is known as one of the snowiest places in California, but receiving 15 feet in a single storm cycle is a statistical anomaly that occurs perhaps once every 75 to 100 years. The storm is expected to begin tapering off late Sunday morning, followed by a period of Arctic clear, where temperatures could drop to -15 degrees Fahrenheit, -26 degrees Celsius. This extreme cold will turn the massive snowpack into a solid block of ice, making the recovery and digging out process even more arduous for Caltrans and park rangers. For continuous updates on park status, visit the Lassen Volcanic National Park alert page.
I gotta go take someone to Bishop, so when I'm driving back up the grade, peep the channel for that. And if you don't subscribe to me,